name is John Pipes. I own Pipes Dreams. It's a mural company. We are at Fizz Ed, which is one of my favorite places. It is a family restaurant and coincides as a college place to hang out at night. It is super awesome. I did an anamorphic mural here, which is the first on a big scale anamorphic work of art I've ever done. And it is meant to be looked at from a side angle. And the owners here have been very kind, let me do that. It's a hard sell because it can only be looked at from one perspective. But from that perspective, it looks super 3D and it's super awesome, very different, and it's a lot of math. So they're not exactly fun to execute, but they are awesome, and the end result is super cool and unusual. But this one is a tree frog over the Fizz Ed, not logo, it's not the logo, but the letters are sinking into the wall and then kind of swinging out of the wall, which I liked a lot, which is the initial premise. And then this was the anamorphic add-on to it, you kind of overlapped. The anamorphic art started with probably the most famous person would be O'Deef, who I met in Gulfport, Mississippi, and met him again in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And he would put art in corners and make it look like it's floating out from there. And I was completely fascinated by that because it's such a convincing illusion and tricks the mind so much. And I've always wanted to do, on a large scale, do an anamorphic mural. It's just part of what I do. Making anything look super 3D, having a lot of depth, or looking different in different lights is what I prefer to do in my career as a mural artist. It took me about 2 years to figure out how artists like O'Deef and other artists pull it off, and it's a CAD program, and I happily share everything I learned, but not everybody else does. I've known Amy, the owner, one of the owners, for a very long time, and it's mainly to get it out there. Definitely means the world, but to have people see it and to have people be able to have something like this when they're not in New York City, when they're not in LA, Chicago, Orlando, something like that, I think it's a big deal also to the community, and the fact that they would cater to and be the catalyst of providing that is super awesome. If you told 14-year-old me that when I moved back here 10 years ago that I would have more murals more quickly and executed faster than anyone in the history of this place, would be something I'd be very proud of and wouldn't believe. But I want to do what I do with no apologies, but at the same time, I'm more into helping younger artists, aspiring artists. I think art is one of the most difficult industries in art, be it theater, music, et cetera, to get into, because artists work by themselves. And so they don't learn how to work with other people very well in their medium. And I think that's unfortunate. Also, the business aspect of they don't learn that well, because as a musician, you deal with restaurants, et cetera. Artists probably get the bottom end of the stick on it. And they're also, you're putting your heart on your sleeve. You're putting, a genuine good artist is making their art out of trauma or anger or depression. And that's the best art. And so that's the most difficult to put out as a person, because it's just you. And I'm more interested in that than getting my own art out there, and more interested in that than being successful